Tony Boy, that's how you and Tommy opened the podcast, isn't it?
Every time.
Tommy Boy. What a day to podcast, 26 degrees outside and we're choosing to be inside.
And I've wore all black.
All black. Have you done much today?
Was working all morning, mate.
Aye.
PTing, then get up, gelled the hair.
Get a wee bit of tan on this afternoon, do you think?
I got my wee spray tan last week for this.
Love it. So we're sitting down for the second time. We actually recorded a podcast for you guys who are tuning in, and I made a wee bit of a mistake by not turning the mic on. So we had, was it my voice or your voice?
It was mine.
It was yours, aye.
I was on fire
So
that day as well.
you were as well. You were sharp. Everything was like perfect answers, viral clips. The whole shebang was going on. So here we are down to record a part 2, but it's probably good because it came at a time podcasting where that was the last one where I was like, I need to take a break. I'm doing too much side of things just now. So, but I've missed it. So you're the first one to come back to it.
Fresh and ready to go.
Fresh and ready to go. Speaking of ready to go, so I actually want to open this episode up by talking about this. This is going to be my first time drinking a cortado. Is that the right thing? Jill had never heard of it as well. So am I right in saying it's a Spanish drink?
It is, yeah.
You're a big Spanish fan, aren't you? So I'm going to do a taste test. This is just an espresso then, is that all it is?
Espresso, a wee bit of steamed milk.
How did you come across this?
I don't actually know, mate.
It's been...
I'll tell you, it was my big pal Dale. He's who's not Spanish, funny enough. Just started bringing them in when we used to work together, and then I've been there since.
Good.
What do you think?
To be honest, coffee all tastes the same to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice and smooth. I would get espressos with milk in it anyway.
I don't have just a straight espresso.
I do. That's nice. I'd imagine that's better anywhere else but a Starbucks, though.
Aye.
If they offer it.
Frowned upon a wee bit having a Starbucks.
Is it? Sorry. Where's your go-to coffee place?
I quite like Latira in Ardington.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Aye, it's nice there.
Or else the Good Coffee Cartel, see down in Kinnan Park.
Oh, I've not been in
Got
that
their own
one.
wee brewery in the back where they make their own coffee beans. I think they distribute quite a lot of the you call it independent coffee companies.
I like
they
that.
Go down there and try it. We walk along the beach. The beach.
Along
the Clyde.
It's basically
the
closest, closest thing to a beach that we've got. Right, so let's kind of, what I want to do for this actual episode, because there's a lot that we can cover off. We could probably sit and do like a 10-part podcast series. You've got a lot going on.
Yep.
Personally, I would say, if I make the right judgment here, that you're at a stage now in life where you've kind of broken the barrier of becoming a successful personal trainer.
Thank you.
Your choice is you do online coaching, you do photo shoots and all this sort of stuff, but you still choose to do one-to-one on the floor.
Yes.
Which might seem a bit contradictory towards the common messaging that's out there for aspiring PTs. And that was the episode that we ended up recording, but actually diving into a little bit of a background. So I think what we'll do is we'll dive into your story. Like, PTing was something that's always been in the cards for you, or was it just something that you obviously took a bit of inspiration to build your own physique? Is that where it all sort of started?
So I was always into fitness. Try to be. I found the gym quite early. So I was like 16, 17.
High school
years.
Yeah.
And then I kind of knew, see that way you develop that reputation, or that's the boy who goes to the gym. And then I just kind of spiraled through there. I didn't go into work straight away with personal training. So I've been PTing 7-8 years. But actually, I went to college first to study it. Came away from it. Started working in my friend's hotel for about 2.5 years. I had that couple of years where you're just going mental, going out, enjoying yourself, finding your personality as well, which is also, again, the best years of my life for developing that side of me. And then went back into college studying, got my PT qualifications, got my diploma, and then was transitioned into the gym floor.
Actual gym floor. What did you stay on high school right to 6th year?
Right to 6th year,
yeah. Was there ever plans to go to uni or anything like that?
See, because I always wanted a PT, but I got an online coach really early. So we kind of had that. I knew through that experience that you get your qualifications and then...
Oh, so you actually knew the journey of what it took to become a PT?
And I kind of knew, right, I think Tony at the time was going away doing courses.
Oh, was it Tony Pang?
Tony Pang, yeah. So I had that...
was it the OG PT?
He was like the OG kind of like original online coach. Yeah. And I remember when I started to, I'm like, I just want to be on his Instagram page. Get a transformation. That was always my wee kind of main goal. And But he kind of taught me, right, getting the qualifications just the kind of bread and butter stuff,
Yep.
get you through the door, and then you've got to go and try, obviously, the different courses that are available to enhance your development as a coach. So that was in my brain fairly doors, and I obviously continued to do that.
How old were you at that point?
I started with Tony when I was maybe 20, 21.
Aye.
So
So this is where, like, you talk about that early years of development. So you've got what, maybe like 3-4 years under your belt. Like,
Yep.
I would imagine you're very similar to me, looking up our YouTube fanatics. I mean, Panda, Ulysses Junior.
Aye.
Who else? Who else is?
The one that
I was even on Rich Piana's arm days, and I'm 16, natty as anything.
six sets.
Aye, exactly. Watching the only guy back in that time that was very open about what he'd done for anabolic steroids, and going, yeah, like, I'm going to fucking do that sort of workout as well.
And
Remember
yeah.
Flex Lewis's workouts?
The original Gymshark crew.
Yeah, or Jeff Said and all
Jeff
that.
Said,
Who's that
Matt
guy?
August.
Matt, yeah.
All claim natty.
No chance. No chance. To be honest, I could believe Jeff Said a little bit, because when he started placing in the Olympia, I seen it. I remember him spitting a dummy out, but in reality, like, the boys were just bigger. They came in at a bigger condition. It kind of got me thinking, did they not? Obviously, at that time, it didn't matter, because it was like you're following personalities and brands. So that heavily shaped you as a character then?
Yep.
Like there's a persona that we all want to portray when we start posting online. Is that to a testament to what you do now? Is that still like early ingrained into you?
I think when you start training at a young age, you're just looking to. I think we all come into training with a wee bit of insecurity behind us.
Absolutely.
You're trying to get past that, which is always the route you should take. You should kind of work your way through it. I feel that I did.
What was yours?
Just how you felt. I was really skinny and everything else. I don't go into the whole, it was really upsetting me and affecting me. I don't lean on a card that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. It was just, I didn't like my body.
And I wanted to
I
change
do
it.
something about it. And it's like, I don't still feed off that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've positioned yourself in a place where you are now, so you go with that and you be happy and you help others, which was always my main goal. Like, don't have an impact. Don't get to a position and feel like you're this superior being that walks around the gym floor stick to what you were raised to do, stick to teaching people whatever you felt back then, whether it was minor, major, it's all subjective to how somebody feels. Apply that and teach somebody not to feel like that as well. That was always a goal, so that developed results.
Yep.
You were so that's when I kind of born into the results driven coach. I seen Tony at the time. Any coaches I've had after that are all, that's their bread and butter, get results, because I think that's whatever style of training you provide as a personal trainer, that is your goal.
It's one of the angles, isn't it? It depends. Like, the result can look different. Like, for example, like my transformation, it can be pain-free movement. It could be, I just want to feel better in my own skin, and all that can be achieved through different methods and that
That's
sort
it.
of
I think
stuff.
whatever you do, back it up.
Yeah, true. You need to
If
have
you
that deniable proof.
weightlifting coach, can you back it up with weightlifting, whatever it is?
I'm
like
a strongman coach back in.
Aye,
I can't bench my body weight or whatever.
mine was which I worked out and I'm proud of, and that's, I won't say that I'm a
Yeah.
transformation coach. I take people who don't feel in shape, again subjective to how somebody looks, and I get them feeling, which has got a mental capacity as well behind it, because you're now allowing them to see themselves differently, and you're changing their physique as well, which is what I've obviously built my business on.
Yeah, good. I'm just going to move that mic down a bit, just so you actually get good headshots with the camera. I'll leave that.
He's thinking that all here.
I know. I'm like, oh, that's a good background. So I can remember it. Right, so up until this point then, you're consuming all this content, you're looking at who's doing it in the space. You've not quite made the leap to coach yourself at this point,
Yep.
but you make the leap to get coached.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the things that you start feeling that, oh, this could be a job that I do? Or was it always on the cards before you even hired
It's
the
always
coach?
in the cards.
Right, so it was just a waiting game.
It was
qualification.
get qualifications. I'd say I was quite mature enough to see that you've got learning the side of it from a academic view.
Yep.
You've also got the people person view, learning how to work with clients. I'm a firm believer in that still, that you aren't working with robots, so everybody's individually different. So it was go and get somebody with experience that has seen that firsthand. That's where obviously Tony came in, and put yourself in started network young. I was in a environment where he knew people. I was training. You were in areas where you eventually wanted to have some sort of credibility, and you've kind of got to put yourself there first, and then built that. I think not that it mattered that it made you a better coach, but I was the only person in my class that got coached. I had plans on competing at that point, so it was like you kind of had to be, because if you want to learn that process, you need somebody that's done it. And then, as I said, that kind of just snowballed. I had the kind of best of both worlds. I was learning the things they maybe didn't teach in college, and learning the things that you needed in college to obviously go out and apply.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We'll talk about like the evolution of where PTing's gone, but when you said I wanted to be on his Instagram page, it brought back a memory for me when one of the reasons I picked Sadiq Havoc, I think he was one of the top physique Olympians at the time. I was like, and he used to post all these transformation guys, and I was like, I want to be one of these guys. It's the only reason I worked out. It's the only reason I chose him as a coach. But how powerful that is to today's age, I don't think that flies as much anymore, because not to discredit it, but social media, there's more of those people. There's more of the Tonys, if you want to call it that. Whereas back then it was I can only remember him, and I actually don't know if anyone else in Scotland was coming up in my feed anyway when I thought of the fitness scene. But then again, I didn't come into it until later.
No, I think you thought at Tony, you had like all the guys down south, Ryan Terry and stuff. It was a original like Men's Health magazine. That's what kind of sparked
your interest.
How weird that sounds. I'm a straight guy, by the way. But the other things you go, do you know what? Wouldn't mind having a physique like him. Yeah, and that's still a thing. Nowadays you look and you go, I want a body like that.
Obviously the parameters change a little bit, I would imagine, as you get more savvy with life experience and how it actually shows up, what it takes to get in, absolute shredded. Right, so let's actually talk about a part that we've not brought up yet. So you went into the hospitality sector.
Yes.
And so valuable in terms of the skills that you learn for dealing with people. Would you have thought, if someone said to you at that point, I know you want to become a PT, but actually get in front of customers first, this will do your PT business really well later down the line?
Yep.
Was it just a tick in the box, get some cash in the pocket type job, or were you actually interested in?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved every bit of it.
What did you like about it?
Who you met, who you had to deal with, social aspect of it. You're at a stage in your life where you are going out, enjoying yourself. I worked with all my friends, so it was a case where I firmly believe, looking back at that now, every person should go through some sort of job in that industry or similar, where you're speaking to people that you don't want to speak to, or you maybe
don't know how to.
Don't know how to. Just essentially get the skills of how do I manage this person. Particularly, it's a wee bit tougher when they've had a couple of drinks. But it teaches you a skill set that you carry on through your full life. So you've got this ability to regulate. How do I talk to this person? How do I talk to that? I feel like I now carry that obviously into my job. It's just a path that I chose, that I think it was going to benefit my PT business back then. Of course not, but it felt right for me then. And I think back there, I think I've got about 6 or 7 clients that I met in that bar. So you call it that. It goes with pouring pints and everything else. It's now I coach you.
But what's one of the most valuable things of a sale for us as coaches is the whole being able to like the person that you're speaking with, being able to conversate with them, being able to show interest in them, and they're all things that you're doing, albeit you didn't have a PT business to go, here, I can help you with health and fitness, but I would imagine that skill set of showing interest in that person who you were serving. Don't know, like it'd be different if it was in America and you worked for tips and all that sort of stuff, because I might like that skill is then even reliant on the money that you take home at the end of the night. But from your curiosity standpoint, you're like, I'm liking this. I like this conversation.
Well, you naturally find out that you're serving some interesting people. I've always been like interested in people above me or further ahead than me, shouldn't say above. And I normally quiz them. I learned early that if you then need to bring some sort of value to that conversation if you want to get stuff from it. So I would go away if somebody was into a certain subject, whether it was golf. I don't know a lot about golf, but I would start to go, did you watch the golf last night? And it would spark that, and I still keep that to this day.
Finding the common ground.
That's it.
So you don't need to be a golf fan, but you can show interest in the thing that they're passionate about.
Exactly. And that's that's personal training as you get to this
Human
point. 'Cause
nature.
we probably are losing that ability to dialogue the same way. And naturally, I think as guys especially, we get on better when we are surrounded by people that are thriving. I don't mean people that are kind of staying in the one place. Like, I can relate to you. We could say our areas of life are totally different, but you're a similar character as, and you're trying to get better and better.
Yeah, we have common ground.
So we
got
go,
common ground.
I could maybe take stuff for Dale, vice versa. So therefore, all of a sudden you start knitting together this community where you go, these guys actually suit me and where I want to go. And you should naturally then be able to provide something within that.
Yeah. It's such a valuable skill, and I think you're right. If there was a bit of advice that you kind of look back on, you think, right, if I'm wanting to become a coach and get into the coaching space, the best skill to develop is people skills. Not connection. Connection is important, but actual communication, being able to hold a conversation and show interest in all these things. Did you do both jobs at the same time, or was it a hard stop when you went into PTing?
I actually worked with my uncle, who was he had a landscaping company.
Oh yeah, I remember this now.
So I used to do that.
And realised hard labour wasn't it for you?
Not for me. I enjoyed it. I get stuck in, but it was his biggest, who I admire to this day, my uncle. Like, he always says this: you're doing this job to realise that this job isn't a job you want to go down. He does really well for himself.
Or did he know that he's like, you don't want this?
Aye, so it's just, I don't know if he maybe thought that he could see that I wanted to do something better, or something more suited to me. But he obviously put that into me, and just, as I said, I'm thankful to this day because he installed hard work into me. Doing a job that you sometimes don't want to do. This is why I kind of look at my job now and go, you've got a cheek to moan. Don't moan, because you're now doing a job that you love. Remember those days when, and I tip my hat off to guys that still go and do a job that they don't want to do to provide, and
especially labourous jobs, I think.
Of course, mate.
I don't want to take anything away from anyone else's job, but the labour-intensive thing for as little... Well, I don't know if it's because maybe you were like a 40 quid cash in hand type job, so that was my day rate as well, hoofed and marble, doing all these sort of things. That pain that I think back to, when a job opportunity came up to sit in a call centre and answer phones, and I would hear people going, oh, this is so stressed today. I'm like, this is piss easy compared to what people are actually doing.
Different type of, obviously, a bit more mental fatigue, but
it's
doing those jobs, as I said, you've also got the guys that do the job and then go to the gym after it.
And then see when you get clients, and if you've ever trained any clients in the healthcare sector, these people are superheroes. Like saving people's lives, going through witnessing everything they need to do, and then actually show up to a gym session.
Going down their steps, just wiping myself off.
And then there's another layer to that. Then when you meet single parents, or you meet mums and all this sort of stuff, you're like, my life's actually okay. And see that perspective, you only get it through experience. You can read it in books, and you can read it through, listen to it through podcasts, but you need to physically get that experience. So I guess a chapter before you go into the hospitality bit, learning the skill of discipline and becoming hardworking, that was heavily influenced by your uncle then?
Yep, very. Still is to this day. Kind of like a father figure to me.
What's your early kind of memories of it?
What, the landscaping?
No, just they're working really hard, or did you piece that together?
Piece that together quickly. Yeah. If you want to get, was I seeking for his approval? I was wanting his respect, because I respected him. If I want respected here, then I'm going to need to bust Mars. I know I'm never going to be skillful at this job, but I'm going to at least try. And I think that's carried on forever with me, where you go, just don't give up. Just keep going. You can try hard for a year, but if you keep that process going and you say to yourself, I'm not tapping out in your work, then something good will come out.
Oh yeah, true.
Whenever I think back, that's always it. So I would go and do my shift, whether that's, I'd work for 5 o'clock, come home, get my dinner, go to the hotel at 2 a.m. I'd do that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to college Monday, and just that full process. So I look back at that and go, that's fucking ridiculous. Why would I want to do that? But then I go, I would not change that for the world, because
so you are.
I don't look back at it now and go, oh my God, would you do that to yourself? Because it's only good that came from it. It's now gave me that opportunity. It's actually quite a bad thing, because you sometimes, I don't know if you do this, you get a wee bit of downtime and you're like, no, I shouldn't be resting, I should be working here.
Aye, so it's like, I could go to bed right now, or I could stay up for the next 4 hours working on something that might not quite move the business forward, but it absolutely can. That's also, it's a fair point which we'll come on to in a wee bit, but the whole work-life balance. Everyone's got a different perception on it. But I definitely think a lot of that is shaped from what we do in our early years of working.
Yep.
Because I think getting burnt out is like a tolerance. There's a threshold of where you can work up to, and then, I don't know, let's say it becomes overwhelming and then you take a step back. But that tolerance of working that up, I've found, I've done like multiple different leadership jobs where I was running a site and running teams of people, and it started at 15 and I was like, this is stressing me out, like this is a hard role, hard job. But I would do pretty well at it, and then see when I moved to teams of 40, I kind of had the perspective, and I look back, I was like, that was quite easy, that job. I could do that job with my eyes closed. So that whole experience of working hard and being disciplined to it's a skill that can be developed over the years, for sure.
I think it's tapping out and stopping. Just tactically stepping off the gas.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself never tap out, it allows you to then regulate things, and you get better at that as you go as well. You can say, right, I'm getting a wee bit burnt out, my relationship's getting affected, my social life's getting affected, I'm working too much, whatever it may be. Like, you get that skill to go, right, I've seen this pattern before.
Yeah.
Now's the time to make the right choices. I do also believe you need to go through a process of hardship for a long period of time to develop that skill.
You need to eat shit for a while, don't you? Because without that, you don't have perspective on what is actually physically hard, or what is actually where the growth is coming from.
Because I was mentored when I started PT, and it sounded good at the time. You'll work, which I now do. You work in the mornings, you take time to train, you don't go back in at night. I just didn't want to do that at the start. I'm like, no, I will work the mornings, I'll train, I'll go back in the night, and I will do that for a period of time till my business is in a position where I can charge a certain amount. I've given enough value. I've just felt I had to get those reps in. So if I'm doing an extra 15 hours a week through night sessions, I'm going to do that. Probably what came for
because you're ready to. It's like there's no finish time here. I'll take a client when they say they are free.
You need to do that bit first. Again, just get those reps in, develop your reputation as a coach or whatever job you're in. But then that allowed me to go, right, now the skill's there. Now I know that over time, I don't want to be doing that. So it allowed me to learn more courses, do more, develop my skill set, develop my reputation. Now I can work from 6 in the morning to 12 in the afternoon.
You've got flexibility of the choice that you
and
want
that's
to
again
do.
subjective. Some people like I want to be in the gym all day working. Some people have to. So me personally, I feel great when I get up, I'm in work, 6, I finish at 11, 12 o'clock, do my training, go back, laptop out. I won't be on the gym floor every morning, but it's building what works for you. And I think that's the stage I'm at now, where I've got that. This is a nice place to be. I'm working with the right people. And
so it's probably worth it. Like, how old are you now?
30.
I see. The last time when we sat down, I think you were 29, weren't you?
So
you've had the big theory, you've had the big realisation, that sort of stuff. I think this is the point of life where you start to, especially, I don't think you need time served. You need time served in a role to get to where you want to be, but ultimately you need to craft your own journey with that. So looking back at that, you've had the years of trying it different ways, and what works for you just now probably won't work for you in 5 years as well. It's forever changing. But the flexibility of being able to change it, I think, is another thing. Before we kind of walk through how you became or how you started gaining success in the space, what was it like growing up in your household? So you mentioned your uncle was a big role model. Is mum, dad in the picture and all that sort of stuff?
In my later years, my dad wasn't.
Okay.
And so I can maybe assume that wee bit of father role in the house. And then mother, big part of my life. Yeah. But
your brothers or sisters or anything?
Yes, like that? So I've got two big brother, big sister, wee brother, wee sister, son, the middle child.
Oh, you bang in the middle?
Bang in the middle.
Oh, how's that? They say the middle child sometimes.
I'd say I'm still the favourite.
Would you?
Nah.
What did they all do?
My mum's side of it.
What did they all do? So like growing up and that sort of stuff, were you close?
We're all very close actually.
Good.
Still very close. So it was a good kind of
industries then? Did everyone follow their own sort of passion, or has everyone sort of found their own feet? Did you all stick to fitness, or?
No, we all train. To be fair, everyone else go to the gym. I'm obviously the PT of the family that helps coach everyone.
There's a standard that needs to be delivered.
But they're all in different industries, to be fair. So
yeah, that's cool. That's quite cool to see like how it all expands and that. So, being the middle child, what's the difference between older brother and sister?
Danielle is 33, Darren's 31,
A couple of years.
Josh is 21, and Kimberly's 27.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like you had to do like taking on the big brother role in a sense? Like being the middle child, you are the youngest child to a point, and then I'd imagine when your younger siblings come in the scenes, like you almost need to have be like a role model yourself.
Sometimes you need to have it all figured out before you got it figured out. Again, that's just lived experience. It's probably why I look to some of I've got friends in their late 40s, 50s, and I feel like you're always as a guy, you're always trying to look for some sort of experience to apply. My job is I teach people to feel good. Essentially, they're buying or investing in a feeling. That's probably applied through my life as well, where you're looking at other people, and then I'm trying to then have a bit of an impact, whether that's in the house or people around me. So we're constantly kind of looking at consciously, subconsciously. So I probably did.
Yeah, that's good. So growing up, we never truly know what we want until we become, when people start asking questions and that sort of stuff. Do you remember like the early years of like, oh, I know when I'm older I'm going to do X, Y, and Z? As an example, I said a lawyer, and I remember going to an open day when we were in high school, and like, to be a lawyer, like, you need to go through X amount of years of uni, and I thought, I don't want to do another 6-7 years of school. But actually, I think back to that, it's like, wonder where that came from. So for me, I think there was like, try to please parents. Parents was like, oh, lawyer's a good job, like get a good job, become an architect. These are really good paying jobs. So that was how I went to impress them. But when it came to it, I was like, no, what did I want to do?
I think that's the most important thing. PTing maybe gets a wee bit of this is an easy job. I don't think any job's easy if you want to be successful in it. Kind of looked at that before, that it's the shortest lived career in Europe. I think I've seen the stat, it's like 25,000, give or take, roughly qualified, emphasis on qualified, PTs in Britain. We've got a population of 67 million plus.
There's not enough.
So if every client in the industry, so every PT in the industry has 30 clients, still leaves something like 63 million, give or take, people without a PT. So it's an industry worth investing in, but why do people fall off? Because lack of success, lack of doing all the things we're speaking about. I don't know if you agree, but it was maybe a job that didn't get the same credibility that others might have. Like, maybe you're growing up and was like, oh, I want to be was it frowned upon a wee bit, or was it just...
I don't think it was even frowned upon. It just, like, for me, I vividly remember going to leave school to go into college and go through the PT route, but then thinking, there's no old PTs. Like, social media wasn't where it was at just now, so I could easily search and find you 4, 5, 6 highly successful older guys and girls that still do this because it's the thing that they love. But for us at that point in time, I remember looking about it, I was like, you don't really know, like, PT is like a young guy's job, and it's a short-lived job, like you said, so it's not a career. It's like you do that for fun, you train people for fun. Little did I know anything can be a business. If I wanted to start creating my own brand of coffee, I could have done, but there wasn't education for me for someone to say, here, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, you engineer anything. Like, if you have a service or if you have a product that you can sell, like, ultimately you have a business then. But it was never on the cards for me to like pursue it that way. So I ended up going, right, what's a quote unquote good job? And that's what made me step into the corporate world. I've spoken about this many times in the podcast, but it was purely from I want the value of, I'm paid really well, I've got a safe career, I'm set for life type thing. That was the main, I guess it's referred to as like NPC these days, but that was the main mindset of where I was at. And then as I was in that world and going through my 20s, figuring out who I was from like the things that I like, the things that I love to do, just gaining life experience, I was like, can I want to do this PT thing? Because I see everyone else around me doing it. And I was like, I'm going to make a stab at this. And if I could, like, people have left their jobs much later than I did. I left at the age of 28 and then became successful PTing at the age of 28 with, like, in a short space of time, but it's not as if I had to if I'd done this when I was 20, I would have been more successful today, potentially, but I didn't. So you need to always kind of look forward. I know people have done that at 35, 40, 45, 50. Yes, it becomes much harder when you get more responsibilities, but I knew I could work hard. I was similar to you. I had
There's
a milk run.
There's also that bit there where you say, well, what can be achieved when there's passion involved? Because a lot of us do go for the easy route, the safe route, which is fine. I mean, like I said, I also admire people highly that just get up and get their work done to facilitate a nice life. But what can be achieved when you do go with your passion at 28 years old and you go, do you know what? Never mind this job. I'm going to go and fulfill something that's sitting in there. And I believe we all have that. Whether you choose to have the balls to go and pursue it is the make or break. I feel, from my experience, more than anything, that always going to explore. If you want to go and coach or you want to go and do another job that kind of lights that wee bit of fire in your belly, go and do it.
Yeah.
The pain of not doing it is worse than spending 6 months and going, oh, it's always best to know. Like you said, look what it's done for your life. Look what you're sitting with now.
Yeah, well, you never know. You never know. And I think the path, if you're stuck at a crossroads just now, you're like, I just don't know what to do in terms of the choices to make. It's like, what's the consequences if you choose to do it and it doesn't work out? And 9 times out of 10, when you think about that path and where it leads to, it just goes, well, we're back doing a job that I don't like to do. So like, I may as well try it. And I know that comes with multiple other things. If you've got responsibilities, kids, house, finances, etc. So I understand we're all in different privileges when we do that. But if your life's hard, we can find 10 other people who have harder lives and manage to make their success. Like, and then also the other thing, like it's an Alex Hormozy thing. It's like, if you want to run the reward of having the hardest life, cool, here's your reward. What happens next? And it's like, right, get over it and start moving forward. So it's an interesting perspective to have for sure. So let's talk about like your career through this personal training. You've came into it at a younger age, so you've got years of reps in there. You've probably seen it evolve a couple of times.
Yep.
I'd imagine if you ran an ad on a transformation 6-7 years ago, you would have 100 clients going, I am ready to sign up to you.
Yes.
In this day and age, if you do that, sometimes you're lucky if you get a DM. Well, in my experience, I'm noticing that as well.
Well done.
It's like
for that auntie.
the standard, though, the standard of today's market in terms of that transformation isn't enough anymore, and there has to be more effort put into actually getting someone to go, here's some money, I want you to train me.
Yep. So
out of all that experience that you gained, I guess let's first talk about how did you land your first actual paid PT sessions?
Friends and family, whether you like that or not, as a starting PT, like eventually you can't rely on just friends and family to build your business. But I believed in an early age, for a start, get a job in your postcode, somewhere where you're known. Like I said, back when I was younger and at school, I was known as the guy that trained, whatever. So if you're the guy that's really good at football and you go into football coaching or weightlifting, stick to your postcode until you develop something where it can broaden out. People will travel for you eventually. So I was always big, right, who will work with me? Brothers, sisters, friends, people that want to see you do well. And if you've got good people around you, you will get that. So that was my first move. Work with friends and family, get results. Actually done that all for free to start with. It wasn't, I was, again, just in my head, results, build a portfolio. So I coached, I think it was 5 or 10 people for free for 2 months.
And you're doing this while working late night, you said?
Yes. Yeah. So I was going in at the weekend, still doing that. I'd done that for a couple of months, and then I went, for this to be successful, I can't be...
Need to go all in.
I need to go all in, but I can't be seen as I can't be a successful PT that goes into and does part-time work in a bar at the weekend.
Just an interesting topic, because a lot of PTs will be part-time PTs to start with. So what's your view on that overall? So you tried it. What made you come to the conclusion that I need to be all in on the PT or not do it at all?
I just felt it was right for me because it was my passion. Go all in your passion, take the sacrifice that you've not got X amount coming in every month. I was planning delivering a service that you wouldn't think I was part-time. So I couldn't be part-time. I like to think I'm super fit professional in my job. they were always my standout points. So I couldn't be training somebody on a Friday morning and then go and pull them a pint Friday night. It's just not allowed.
Aye. It's big thing. So what I'm kind of gathering for the start of this story is reputation held such a valuable segment in terms of here's the areas I need to absolutely nail. Yep. And you're right, like, who knows me the most? Right, it's this area. What do they know me as? Well, they knew me as the guy that worked out and I got in really good shape myself. That should be an easy conversion of trust.
Yep.
Who else trusts you? Friends and family. So it makes sense to go after this approach. But you're right, what starts damaging that reputation? It's like, there's Tony. It's like, I got my garden done the other day and it was Tony that turned up with his uncle. It's like, whether it makes an impact or not, psychologically, it impacts you.
You go, he doesn't, he either, I get it as well because you're going, right.
It's a hard thing to give up.
I need time here to build it up, but it's also that I have to be seen as somebody that's serious. Whether I've done the job for a year or a week, I need to be known as the guy that trains people. Am I going to get invested? People going to invest when they feel that, oh, he's not really that, and yeah, he's at the,
I like the
at the pub at the weekend,
yeah.
And he's there. So it was, just take the plunge.
I mean, arguably, you could flip it the other way and still say that you would have still been able to build a strong business doing both,
yep.
But the standards that you had for the image that you wanted to portray, I think, is also a testament to why you're so successful just now.
Aye.
Because you had that high standard, whether that was the image that you had for yourself by looking at other people's content, by working with Tony, by working with your uncle, all these sorts of things. It's probably just a mixture of, here's the standard I want to deliver, and it's that simple.
That's always filtered out for me. Like, I always think, dress immaculately, make sure you're professional, have your iPad sitting, don't.
So that was obviously one of the next steps as well, wasn't it? Because I remember when we spoke about this last time, it was along the lines of, look, I wear polo shirts, I dress the part of a PT as much as, like, what job can you dress in comfy clothes and then turn up to your sessions? Like, it's a pretty good gig, but you have a uniform that you apply to that role. Where did that come from? The Mark Coles stuff?
Mark Coles was big.
Yeah, I remember his book. His was great.
Really good book. Still, you see this common theme of who did Mark Coles work with? Really successful people.
Do you know what I find with his? It's not that they're successful people necessarily, in the sense that they've built a good social media following, etc.
Yep.
Actually, I look at all their pages of his students. It's like they're a good personal trainer,
yep.
Not a coach, not a influencer sales plans. Like, I know the way that they've portrayed themselves. They're a professional, very good at delivering a high standard of personal training towards their clients.
That was always my thing. Be taken serious in this industry, because even back then when I started, there was a lot of just shit.
I was going to say, how low was the bar?
The bar's still low. The bar's probably lower than it's ever been, and that's not.
Do you think so? Do you think there's a decline?
I think there's a decline in good quality PTs. But back then I wasn't a good quality PT. I was better than most, and that's a bad way to be for starting out. For the rest of the people that have kind of trudged themselves way through the years. But my thing was, right, when you start out, if somebody walks in this gym, I want them to look over and see who's PTing. Came from my mate Dale, that was always was in the same gym as me. He sat his phone on the desk. He had a clipboard. You knew that he was the PT. It wasn't, which I still don't agree with to this day. You shouldn't be dressed in a certain way. Who's the trainer here? Is he training with his mate or whatever? Or is it just two guys in training? I was always like stand out. And then those are the decisions that could make somebody go, I want to go with him.
So incremental, is it might move a fraction over?
I apply that to
everything.
Obviously my coach now, Ross, and if you think people don't notice these things, you're daft. And that's not me. And the ones that matter really notice. The guys with businesses, the guys that are ahead of you in the game, they pick up on these points and they go, oh, that guy actually cares. And sometimes that's all you need to get that person to invest.
It's like general etiquette, you're right. The standard is super low.
Well, there you go. Everybody talks about how you go out for your dinner and somebody messes up. How many people write bad reviews? Oh,
good reviews are expected.
Waiter was terrible. Took ages to come over. What happened to our industry? So you carry yourself in a way.
Do you know, it'd be good if it was standard that we all need to register a business profile on Google and get 5 stars for it, or have.
I think there should be a standard. It should come for the gym owners.
What's the one that's the trades? It's like find my trade type thing. They've all
Aye.
got a ranking and that sort of stuff.
That's what I think. It's subjective. Do you know what I mean? There's some people that I look at somebody like Brett Contreras, who's one of the
See what you
finest
just done
people.
recently? He's just sold everything and then he's moving.
Is he?
He sold all his gym in Vegas. And he's moving to a different state and all that. Sold his business and he's pivoting to, he's still doing coaching and that, but he's just moving state. But a guy that just loves what he does and cares more about one most important thing, which is making an impact in someone's health and fitness.
But he's at a stage, he doesn't charge for his service. He says that in himself. I wear shorts and sandals because I don't charge, and he wouldn't say this, but he's also Brett Contreras. We aren't. So you got to stand out.
You need to be you.
So in that situation, coming in, looking a mess, eating, on your phone, these things impact your business, whether you like that or not.
Yep.
And if I'm standing with my iPad and somebody's watching that and somebody goes, that is a difference. Going, well, even if you're logging your workout on your phone, how do you know that if you're looking across? So it's I'm the winner there, so I get the client or the opportunity to get them. They're the things that you got to install really early on. It's become this, we've lost that because everybody wants to turn up with their baggy clothes on, and me personally, that's never been me. I would always want to dress the part, look the part. It's different if you build your own facility. You can do what you want because you're then attracting people that invest in you. But that was always my thing, and that was just what I was coached to. If I want to work with higher end clients, I know that sounds fucking weird, but people that potentially have money who want to spend and care, then you should start by dressing the way they dress, conduct yourself in the way you do, and that does filter out and affect your business in a very positive way.
You need to think about it, because a lot of people think that's like a swanky thing to say. It's like, oh, but charging more for services. People will pay you more, I think, is what you're alluding to here. Like, you can get paid more for the same coaching service just by a simple thing of how you carry yourself, the standards that you have, and how you dress. Something that we can all improve on.
We pay for it, like I said before, we pay for it every day. When you go, you and Gillian get dressed up, and you go to a fancy restaurant, the price reflects that. The better food, the better service.
I get knocked back, things like you will.
There you go. Go and get your trainers on.
But you're right. And also, there's a weird psychological part. Like, you know yourself, when you put on a shirt and put on like trousers or cargos, that it's like, I feel a wee bit different today.
They told me that years ago. See, if you ever feel tired in the house, go and put your suit on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I've seen myself do it.
So what you've tied a
I've no bit of tux to the gym, by the way.
But what you have done is you've tied this sense of energy and how you hold conversations and what you do when you put a certain uniform on, and that is your PT attire, and that becomes you. I'm in PT mode, and it sounds so ridiculous, I know, but that will be your PT, Tony, when you've got that on. Then when you're training, you probably feel a wee bit more relaxed thinking about that, but it's like I'm laser focused on what the outcome is here. So that kicks off then. You make the decision so for you to quit your job and go all in this, what had to happen? So there was a mindset shift. I would imagine you were maybe, being as young as you were, in a position where you didn't have too much overheads.
Not too much overheads, to be fair. I was all right. I could do it, so it's obviously a smart move to do it then.
What would your advice be to someone who's maybe on the fence?
It's obviously the situation's going to dictate that. If we've got kids and...
Oh, so for you, like, what did you have to have in line to make it happen? Was it just a simple thing of, I need to make...
You've got time and you've got energy.
That's it. Yeah.
See if you've got... Whether you apply it's a different question. You get up at 6 a.m, and you don't put that laptop down until 10 o'clock at night. And that's the bit that people want to fall short on.
Yeah.
But you do that until you're busy. And you still keep doing that if you want to get even busier. But I knew if early doors, right, if you're going to go all in this, you're going all in it.
You're going to work hard to do it.
It was full send. I mean...
So you go all in, you find the gym that you're going to PT from.
Yep.
Talk us through that.
I was training in Elite Fitness in Edinson.
That was your gym?
No, that was where I started. I used to train there, and then Chris offered me the job in there. Great, gave me a couple of months, I think rent free at the start to get me on my feet. I was busy quick.
Yeah, so what was the approach there? Was it like as simple as like, yeah, I'm Tony, I'm starting this PT thing.
Yep.
I'm all in this. If you want someone to help you with your journey, hit me up.
That was it, and it just grew from there. But that obviously had its reps for before, because I was
Of course,
training, was in the gym environment. I've spent time there, and the pub essentially helped.
Looking at your career from that point to where you're at now, what's some of the big milestones that stand out in terms of where things just moved for the better, but also moved for the worse? Like, what stands out to you as you're going through that?
I think we spoke about this before. Like, you got all this time in the world, and it's great back then, but then you start getting really, really busy, and you go, holy shit, I've got to juggle my training here, the thing that I love. I've got to juggle a social life, but you're also said you got into this to make an impact. You now got a thing that you dreamed of. You've got abundance of clients. That's quite hard to juggle with at the start. It can be quite, because everything's a trade-off. You want to work, you want to do 40, 50 hours a week. Something's going to take a hit, whether that's socially, relationships, mentally. But that was the goal. The goal was to be busy as a PT. So that, at the start, was a huge milestone, but also a bit like, whoa, this is hard. And this is where I think people I think you get people that drop out of PTing because they're not busy enough, and you also get ones that are burnt out and don't know how to manage that. A huge milestone for me was actually learning how to make it suit my life.
Yeah. What were some of the things, like maybe quick fire, top level bits of advice that worked for you?
Develop who you want to work with. That comes from
bit of reps, didn't it? So you say yes to everyone at the start.
Yep.
When did you start going, right, I'm going to just target these people? Can you remember? Did anything happen, or was it just a matter of you just consume mentorship content and it's like that kind of makes sense?
3 years. I only coach men. So I've seen that 90% of my business is probably male. So I went, right, well,
you stopped doing these leg kickback videos.
So I was chucked that. And then just started focusing on what 90% of my business was, and that's what eventually they grew into that. So you developed a niche. Again, that comes with time. Then it was just about enjoying it, getting to that flow where I never wanted to do this job and hate it. And after all these years in it, I still don't. What a privilege to get out of bed every morning, like we spoke about earlier, and be able to do all the things involved in this job, podcasts now, things that this wasn't a thing when we started training.
It just opens up tons of more opportunity.
Online coaching, podcasting, seminars, like these things are all, fitness has never been so big, but the big thing for me was back then was finding who I was wanting to work with and being taken serious. That was always my...
Do you ever feel you weren't taken serious?
No, I just kind of knew that I wasn't. You never had the finished article, but I knew that I didn't have the accolades to say that I am a transformation coach. How are you? I've got 2 transformations. Well done.
Do you think that's because, though, you were following some of these guys who had thousands of them?
Yes.
Comparing yourself to these guys?
Yeah, but listen, you set the standards to what you look at.
Yeah, comparison, yes, it can be the thief of joy, but it can also be the driver of where you want to go.
100%.
And then you kind of need a little bit of it, don't you? The whole, not hating what you do, have you ever hated it? You ever been at points in your life where you're like, I don't think this is for me, or I'm really disliking what I've done here?
No.
So it's always been like, any obstacle you face, it's like, right, how do I overcome this and make this better? It's a sign you're in the good road.
I know I'm in the right place. There's nothing that's ever, you can adjust how you're going to do things, but leaving the industry's never creeped into my head. There's been times when you're burnt out, you're tired, but
not a wee Ibiza weekend can fix it.
I know exactly that. That makes you more burnt out. So actually, I was in Ibiza for my 30th, and I've came back, which is, I had an hour gap between PT. I think my other client was away, and I couldn't get him in, so I went, right, just go and sit in the car for half an hour. I've just put the seat down, fell asleep in my car. I moved the car purposely so there was 2 people.
You could get
and then I woke up and there's obviously 2 members that have left, and my car's just sitting here, and I'm like, they've actually seen me. What a terrible advertisement for my business.
You're feeling like down in the dumps. Fucked it.
Nah, definitely don't do that again. So don't go to Ibiza as a way
to solve your
to solve your, if you're feeling a bit.
Yeah, like the thing is, we spend years and years and years and all this time, money, and effort on building a reputation, and sometimes it's one shit thing that can ruin that reputation. It's so hard to fight back for it.
Yep.
I think you can always resolve from it, but regardless, like I think we spot like when we'll do an actual deep dive on advice for personal trainers on starting out and how to become successful in that, but more particularly, like we just want to dive into your story in that. But one thing we touched on last time was the whole reputation side of things, and a part of that reputation which PTs get a bad rep for, and I'll never forget this. I've been with Jillian since I was 18, right? I'm 31 now, turning 32, and we're married, all that sort of stuff. So when I was choosing to become a PT, my algorithm starts changing, and then it was like a TikTok, and it was like, oh, like 5 most attractive jobs, like firefighters, this, and then personal training. No, it was the 5 most common jobs where men cheat or something like that, and it was like firefighters. And then personal trainers came up, and I was like, who in their right mind is sleeping with their clients? Little did I know it's a fucking common thing that seems to happen in the space, and I think that can be a shaky road to go down, especially when you're young. Particularly, we can only speak for the guy side of things, but when you're a young guy, that'll hang about with you forever. Because I know PTs in our area, and when I've had clients from it's like, oh, that's such and such, he sleeps with his clients.
I could still name them.
Regardless,
I could have done it once.
Aye, regardless if they still do it or not. Like I'm sure some of them are married and have kids and have sort of moved on with their lives, and that's the reputation that they still get branded with.
Yep.
And it's a thing you need to be conscious of. And I'm glad actually you opened up with the one thing I cared about most was my reputation, what that meant. So the whole, whether it's like maybe you're a young single guy and it becomes tempting or whatever, like stay away from it.
I put a reel up last night talking about it.
Oh, did you? I've not seen it.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. Do you find it's quite common then? Because you're still on the gym floor, which we'll move on to in a sec.
I don't know if it's more common, but you just see traits in so-called coaches that I just don't find acceptable. I don't think you should be creeping on girls' Instagram. I don't think you should be liking people's photos when you've got kids and things.
I remember some people specifically getting into online coaching. One, because they thought it was easy to make money, but two, because they're like, oh, I'd be in with the
what are you attracting then? So you all of a sudden if you're known as that person, you're going to attract a horrible type of woman to train, and nobody in the right mind, from a guy's point of view, is going to send their partner to a PT with a horrible reputation like that. So all of a sudden you've shot yourself in the foot financially, and then just for a coaching standpoint. It's also as well, like for me personally, I've never ever done it, never would. More so because I'm happy in a relationship. See, if I had that reputation leaning over me, how does that make my partner feel when I go to work every day in a job that I love? So that is your own fault if you've set that standard in a relationship as a man.
Yeah,
it's never ever been it would never be an option for me. Again, this is why PTs maybe get a wee bit of a bad rep, because the standards what they set for day dot are fucking abysmal. You can fix that, and everything should relate back to you if you hold yourself to a better standard from the start. Like, they are common morals. That's not even to do with like a skill set.
Nah,
like,
it's not.
You should not be preying on a woman when she has to spend an hour with you. That is fucking ill behaviour in my mind. And now you're seeing it through Instagram. You're seeing guys that, wait a minute, you've got Wayne's in the house, you've got kids. Why are you liking her picture with hardly any clothes on?
Makes it so. It's like it's
I mean,
out there. It's like the old school tweets when people used to like stuff and they'll realise that the like stuff would show up in your feed.
100%.
It's like, why you like they just have a guy that used
Maybe
to
that's people's standards. Maybe that is, but I know for a fact I have had men come to me and go, Tony, I would trust you to train my partner.
That's such a compliment. It sounds ridiculous.
It's
but
terrible
it is.
that's the standard.
Yeah.
And I've trained, I remember one of my clients was giving me something, like, no, that's about money, something like 800 quid a month, because I was training him and his partner. I wouldn't, and he's openly said to me, if I didn't trust you, you would not be training her. And quite right. I mean, so...
But it's crazy, like that's a customer in our field, that's a customer in what we want to deliver in the health and fitness space. And that's someone that's put off wanting help. Because ultimately, like, you got into this, like, we're in here because we'll actually move on to it. I think fundamentally one of the biggest shifts of what's going to happen to where the majority of our population, like you said, what was I think population of Scotland is like 5.5 million, but 26 million across the UK or whatever it is. Is it 26 million? Is that what you said? 60?
It's over UK, so there's 60.
60 odd, right.
60.
So massive amounts of people, obesity is on the rise, kids' obesity is on the rise, information around nutrition is terrible, information around what you do when it comes to your fitness. People are going to need help with this.
Yep.
And Manjaro comes out and all these medical interventions come in, which is great in a short term, but is not fixing the root cause. And that's then going to have a knock-on effect to someone's health. And then there's going to be another problem that we're going to have to solve, but we need people in the front line actually coaching people. But to your point, how can we even coach the people when we're not even making it by that first conversation because the reputation's been muddied? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So back to your story then. So where are you at just now? I guess let's look ahead and then we can come back to like some of the successes and whatnot. Where would you, have you ever so now like turning 30 was a big milestone for me. I was like, fuck man, like this birthday hurt. Like the rest of them I didn't care too much, but when in my 30 I was like, wasn't that it hurt? I was like, wow, I thought so much would have happened in my life by the age of 30, but I still feel so young. So what was going on? Have you had a chance to think about where you want to go in the future in terms of a dream life, or you feel like you're in the midst of it just now?
I enjoy my life. I do. I've got... If you come and watch me all day with my one-to-one clients, you'll realise maybe I'm being biased, but I have the best clients in the world. Like, my clients are amazing. They all run their own businesses. They are all amazing in their own way. Just interesting people. I think you can get caught up in chasing this. I'll reach the dream once I get to this point. Sometimes you're already in it. When I started this, somebody said to me, you will have this one day. I'd have been like, wow. So turning 30 was never a big deal for me, because my life is inherently getting better and better. It can be easy to keep looking ahead. But at this point, this will happen and blah, blah, blah. Like, sometimes you just look to what you got and be appreciative of that. As I said, turning a big 3-0 didn't mean much to me. I never felt any younger and better. So I'm blessed as in opportunity-wise, my networking, my photographer friends that I work with, my mentor friends, my podcast mates. Like, it's all related to where I was and the work I've done. But I'd say I'm in the midst of it. Yeah,
that's good. Good, I like that. What's the is there anything that you're looking at in terms of the fitness industry and you're thinking, right, I'm going to evolve and do some more of this stuff? So I noticed last time you kicked back off like seminars and that sort of stuff and sort of more community driven things. I think this is quite important to talk about. Personal training is something that you've chosen to still do. And I actually remember adverts for this in the past saying, are you a busy PT on the gym floor and want to get off it? There's such a rush to get off the gym floor, but it's so rewarding being on the gym floor. And I think to myself, like, why do people want to glamorise this online coaching life? Talk us through your experience with it and how you found it and why you still choose to PT on the gym floor.
I think, like I said to you, we're all losing our ability for dialogue, ability for social interactions. Social media has made us more antisocial in so many ways. PTing for me personally allowed me to communicate, allowed me to learn, allowed me to speak and dialogue. More important, allows you to see things that you probably don't see from maybe an online perspective all the time. I think we all crave some sort of connection as men and women. You want to be around good people. My job allows that. Like, what a fantastic place to be in. And I'm allowed to see people develop. I'm allowed to take them from one point. It's a relationship between me and that person. I'm allowed to watch them grow into whoever they want to be. I never wanted to lose that. Of course, I will get better as we go, but watching them develop. And you can get that from online as well. There's some incredible online coaching. I do it myself, and I feel I do it well. There's something good about being on a gym floor with somebody and seeing it all in person and seeing those wee milestones come. And I think people that do the one-to-one know that as well once they invest in it. Yeah.
You chose to go into like a semi-private gym as opposed to like a corporate box gym, like a big box gym with high footfall of traffic and that sort of stuff. Is that like, so talk about that. Would you change any of that, or would your advice be different to anyone?
It depends on where you're at. General advice for a lot of people is go and put yourself in a corporate gym where you're seeing a lot of footfall come through. You're seeing multiple people through the day that might allow you to develop your skills. Like I said, I was lucky because I threw myself at that, got the opportunity to work there, and then it picked up relatively well. I then found myself in a job where you're kind of bottom of the pile and you're just trying to work your way up. And I felt I'd done that very quickly. Spent some time there, and then obviously JP's.
What was the move? What enticed you about moving to JP's?
Me personally, if you've ever watched John Paul and some of the other PTs up there, personal training, it's exceptional.
So there's a standard.
Particularly John Paul, he is a wizard when he was coaching. So I was training there and seeing this great person, cares so much about what he does. And I was like, I need to be in here if I really want to get better.
How did you get the move? Because he doesn't just open his doors to like...
No. He's still, I think he's took on one other person in the 3 years I've been there. He's not somebody that just lets anyone in. I think he seen that I cared, seen that I wanted to be there. A big part of it was he'd never seen me coach. But he knew I was a good enough people person.
Because you developed that skill, man.
And I wanted to learn. So I did my interview and he said, "You're in." He told me straight away and I was like, amazing.
You buzzing?
Oh, I was buzzing, mate. I still buzz after
Highlight.
that just to get that. Do you know what? You feel like I look up to John Paul in terms of his skill. He's a great guy once you get to know him. To have somebody go, "Do you know what? I'm going to put an arm around you and I'm going to help you," was massive for me and my business. Since then, it just went shot up the way. So if you're listening to John Paul, I'm so grateful for all your work and time you spent with me. But obviously, I had the opportunity to work there and that. I've been there since. I don't feel for me personally, there's not a better gym.
Yeah, like your only other option potentially would be to move into your own place, but you've got everything that you want at your fingertips.
Yep.
And most importantly, you like it all. You genuinely love all the people that go there. You love the person that's running the gym, and all your clients go there. Like it's literally the best recipe as to. I think a lot of people chasing away from that gym floor life or that life is because they want something else. And it's maybe sometimes over-glorified that working behind your laptop and be anywhere in the world can be for you. I've got some good friends who, though, are now classed as nomads. Their life's in Dubai and they're in Bali and all that sort of stuff. And it sounds like a great life, but it then muddies the waters of can you still deliver the standard that you're looking to deliver? Because I found even being here in the UK when I tried the online stint and I had my own studio and I was like, I hate this. Like I miss seeing people and I wanted to see more people. It seems like fitness is evolving into, there's a lot more group stuff and community driven stuff. It was a bit I didn't really understand what the word meant maybe like 5 years ago, community, but every gym has a community by default. But most importantly, you're seeing personal trainers focus and double down on this. Like if I think of like guys that I've had on the podcast, the AFIT guys, the community he has with the gym, like they're all personal training clients of his. I had Harry on for Greater Than.
Yep.
You've had multiple different gyms. Jordan Rennie, actually, who's round the corner from you, JR Fitness. Like these places are popping up more, and I think that's a great thing for fitness as a whole. You're doing it in a way where you can still be on a quote unquote gym floor, not quite have your own facility, but this is by choice. But you're in a world where you're still creating that gym community, and I think a lot of people think you can't do it unless you step away from the gym floor. Well, am I a bit right? Hit the nail on the head there.
All my clients get on really well with each other. We do client meetups.
So how did you get them introduced? Because the hard thing about one-to-one PTing is one person comes into a session, another person leaves. What did you do to like get them sort of blended together?
Honestly, I would see if I felt somebody would get on with each other. I would put them in one after the other, and I'd mean it, and it worked every time. Yeah, and I'd do my own style of networking, which I believe my job is like. Yeah, he meets that one, I meet that one. That then benefits me because we all stick together. There's a nice relationship out there. I would purposely do things like I would do client meetups. We'd go down to, I train my boxing coach. He trains me.
I saw that recently.
I
all through their paces.
That as well. Do you know what I mean? Just things that, like the boys all do it, that you've had on the podcast. Like, naturally, I think we're all getting back to, I think it relates back to social media. I think we are getting a wee bit savvy to it all now and going, oh, wait a minute. I'm craving some sort of interaction for people. I'm craving going and meeting some of the boys and getting a laugh and just chatting away, getting a good workout in. The competitive side of it as well. That's where I feel fitness is doing really well now. You could also say that people are getting more healthy. People are getting more aware. I think these gyms are modern day nightclubs.
They absolutely are, because people are drinking less and doing all this sort of things.
So you're going and you're trying to meet people, and you're trying to meet people similar to yourself. That comes for, obviously, these guys setting that standard, myself, try to build communities, whether that's networking through business or fitness, whatever it is. We're all naturally starting to get back there. I think everyone's, like I said, we're savvy
It's
to it
evolving
now.
into it. I think that's the next big... It's already happened, but it's definitely the next biggest breakthrough that you're going to see more of.
Yep.
And see, the best thing about this is you could have two gyms side by side. Before, like, I think gyms still have this sort of standoffishness between each other. It's like a JD comes into the town, every like semi-private gym's like, fuck, like all these members potentially may leave. But if you rely heavily on just being a standard operating gym, and yes, okay, you might have different equipment like JP does, but if you go more deeper into that, and the standard of the PTs and JPs, the simple things of saying hi, it's like, oh, like Tony really cares about my fitness journey. Or you've maybe had a workout with somebody and you've met someone in there, you're more likely to stay at that gym than go to a JD or a pure gym.
Yep.
And the small group PT model or the community-driven gyms, they can generally be side by side and still run well, because to your point, how many people need help with the health and fitness?
Look at the stats.
How many clients would you say is a full roster for you?
I think if you're doing 30 hours a week, you're doing really, really well.
Right, so you need 30 people, not even 30 people, you need 15 people to say, I want you to train me twice a week. See, when you break that down, and if you listen to this, you go, I can find.
Of course you can. It's
start
not
with
about...
one.
Then it just highlights to me, it's not about there's not an abundance of people, there's abundance in your effort, and there's an abundance in you giving it time.
Yeah.
Because it's everything's a click of your fingers nowadays. There you go, I'm 7-8 years into my trade, training all my life. Maybe just the last couple of years I'm starting to get that wee bit of credibility and a bit of thingy behind me to say, no, you're actually
half
good.
decent at his job.
Do you know what I mean? So whether you like it or not, I've seen of course, everything in life requires time, effort, and just putting the miles in. It's not glamorous. We know that. Building a studio wasn't glamorous. You didn't have a queue of people wanting to podcast to you the day you opened. But that's what it takes. It's like and it relates well to our job, because you don't just get in shape overnight. That's something that's probably installed in us. You wake up every day and you know, I need to go and do this again, and you need to go and do it again. But if I want to look better or feel better than the majority, I have to do it.
Yeah.
It's the same with your business.
What would you say the success of the clients who've built a relationship with someone else in your coaching group? How are they far more successful at their own health and fitness journey than in the past when you dealt with clients just one-on-one and they've not really met anyone else?
Yes.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Aye.
I'd probably say this is one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give a coach, is find ways to connect your clients in their existing group. Because I think to like some of the clients who've finished up with me after a year or whatever, and then I look at their profiles and I'm like, he's not working out. It's like, why is he not working out? It's never about the workouts. It was never about me getting them in shape. There was someone there to share the journey of their fitness, and that was me in the one-to-one session.
Yep.
And I've missed a trick connecting them with someone else that they can go to the gym with. One of the best things, so I'll not dive into it too much in this podcast. I said that in the podcast I've released before this one. The decision to like put my coaching on pause to focus on this avenue, like the studio side, it was so hard to do simply because I was doing some more of this group stuff, and I was like, this is great. But I went away on holiday and I was like, right guys, you guys are not going to be coming to me anymore. You're going to be off and doing this yourselves. Figure out where you are. You all live in the same area. Go to the gym together, and they're all going out for coffee at the weekend. I was like, that to me is my transformation. That to me, I've done my job there because they built a relationship on fitness. And yes, it might explore into them going out for lunch and maybe going out for drinks and all that sort of stuff. But the core principle that I hope they take away is like they can do fitness as a team, because it's not the embarrassment of, oh, I'm going to be the weakest person there, I'm going to be whatever, because it's irrelevant.
I think you need to remember as well that coaches are bad for this, where we go that everybody should have the same passion that we do. And that's not the case. Like,
you ever feel out of love with training?
You have times where you kind of go up and down, but it's more that, see the people you coach, sometimes they're coming and train just for the mental capacity of it, just to meet somebody socially, just to get out the house. And they have amazing reasons to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like you said, like bridging that gap and allowing people to meet, knowing that they will train forever, is far better than the guy that just goes all in for 1 year, then stops.
Yep.
Because again, those reps over time, that is going to give you so much more back, whether it's from a networking standpoint, a physical standpoint, mental. You will dramatically improve your life through fitness. And that's something that I always wanted to teach clients, and I want to teach myself, that it's not here to take over your life, it's to improve all the aspects outside of it. That's what my job was, to essentially teach people that. If I can teach them that, whether they look like a certain point or not, that's not for me to decide. If they say to me, I'm over the moon and I'm going to train for the rest of my days, because when I don't, I feel worse, I'm the winner. They're the winner. Like, that's all it should be. You're right.
That part as well, it's hard to get that across on an Instagram post.
Of course it is.
And this, like, sex sells almost, the transformation, the impact is like, what fucking hell. But everyone's got their own story, and how that shows up is different from person to person. You just kind of sidestepping a wee bit, because we spoke about this last time, but we haven't on this podcast. A big milestone for you was actually getting your mum into training.
Yes.
Am I right in saying that? So
yes.
Talk about that. So that meant a lot to you then.
My mum is best person in my life. Love her to death. She had tumour in her leg years ago, so she's got bad, what's that I'm looking for? She has bad scarring, had to go through certain processes, and it obviously hindered her mobility for a long time. Recently, I got her back into I didn't get her back in the gym, she started training. Again, passion thing. This is why I'm always big on, if I didn't still do my 1-to-1, this wouldn't have happened. So you're always doing something. That was always my goal. Have as much impact as possible for strangers. I would have loved to have done it with family as well. So especially the person that means the most to me. So to get her in the gym recently, just solidified that you're in the right path. We can talk about money. We can talk about everything else. I train her twice a week. You can go like that. Oh, you're losing £400 a month. Like, it's irrelevant.
It's the value in it.
It's value of seeing it. And
priceless.
Again, bringing back to the 1-to-1, I got to the other week stand and watch my mum put the treadmill up and run. This is a woman that I sometimes had to change her shoes and stuff for and help her. So you go like that, this is worth it. And I maybe don't get to see it or have as much emotion behind it as other clients. But who's saying that sometimes when they don't go home and they're getting their benefits, or their kids get to see that? So you're in a job where that reminded me, you're doing the right thing. Like I said, it's to see that in person, to spend that bit of time with somebody that you care about, is invaluable. So, I mean, I would train her for the rest of my life for nothing. I will. So I got into that. My mum came in. They were all milestones for me, like major. So to have that again, that I felt 3 years ago I couldn't have helped her, or I would have tried.
Yeah, of course you would.
Working with John Paul, with Matthew, they've allowed me to actually feel confidence that I have, and her life has dramatically changed in the last 4 months. Quality of it. Yep. That's what I always relate back to clients. This is why you do the job. Like, and people always talk about money. Provide value first, give impact, the money follows. You can't not get good at your job if you've got those first two.
Yeah.
So
there's a thing as well, like, one thing money can't buy is your health and fitness. Yep. One thing that money can't buy is that feeling you get when you see a success journey like your mum, and like on many of your clients. And that's ultimately purpose in life. And it's like people, I don't know my purpose. It's like, but if you can tap into something, okay, you don't need to define it as your purpose, but tap into that feeling, because we can buy money, we can buy a takeaway, we can exchange our time by watching Netflix that gives us that short-term pleasure. But those things that have a bigger reward usually take a bit of time, and it's taking you from the age of 21 to up till just last year or up till this year to get that trust and belief in yourself, but also probably belief for your mum to go, oh, he can actually help me. Yeah. Because I don't know why our family seem to be the last people that jump on board.
I know, the ones you want to work with the most.
They'll hit you out with some mad stuff.
Well, you get that. My sisters and all that came at first, but then you have that. Sometimes you look back and you go, do you know what, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that.
But you can appreciate, see that lesson again. You can't necessarily go through that by just reading it in a book. You kind of need to experience it. And that's the evolution of life. So I love that. That's good. Are you going to get her enter on a powerlifting competition or anything like that?
Going to be doing
the next photo shoot. Mum, we're getting you on stage, bodybuilding.
Again, this is why I love my job. You've got all different levels to what people do. Some people I've worked with young coaches. I've worked with guys in their 60s. I've put people through photo shoot preps. It's all subjective. Like the main goal should always be to make somebody feel better.
Yeah.
I'd hate to work with somebody and leave them in a better position, a worse position than what they started. That's what fitness has gave us. It's put us in a better position in our life, in our physically, mentally. So that's the value you want to give. Everything's about value. We're born to. I do believe that. It sounds all preachy, and I'm a big believer in God, but you're born to serve.
Oh, yeah, you religious?
Yes, very.
Have you always been like that?
No, maybe the last. Since my mum wasn't well.
Is that what not forced the hand, but got you to open your horizons?
Just found God again.
Did you?
A couple of things happened, and it's just that I believed in God for all my might after that.
So faith is an interesting pillar of all those different things we can go after. But I remember one of the first times, I've trained a bunch of clients who are very religious, and that was a big part of when you look at these different we can be super into our fitness, but then other areas of our relationships can take a hit. So it's try to find the balance between them all. So what's that experience been like for yourself then?
What, having faith?
Yeah.
Everything we do is got an active faith behind it. You go into things with the unknown.
Yeah.
That's where the excitement is. That's where. So for you to achieve anything worth good in life, I believe there's good and there's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Faith has to be there. Faith takes you towards the good. You didn't start this podcast studio with the act of faith had to be there, faith that it would work out.
Yeah.
So as I said, you can't, in my opinion, it's God driven.
No Celtic driven then.
No Celtic driven, no. So to achieve good things in life, and my idea, I'm religious for God to keep giving me good things in life. I have to have faith. Nobody's perfect. We all have our ups and downs and things you learn as you go. I do believe there's evil in the world as well, but if you keep your faith, then you keep yourself in a better place to attract good.
Yeah, no, good, interesting. So we were saying about that being one of the highlights then, obviously training your mum. Any other client successes that come to mind that it's worth sharing their story for? Because we are angling this as of aspiring PTs. A big chunk of the audience that I've got that listen to the podcast is people figuring out their own health and fitness journey. And I think as time goes on, I think a good question to ask is, I've got my bias on what I believe the best approach, individual given, everyone's got their own circumstances, on why we should all do something when it comes to resistance training. You'll have your approach. So when you think about some of these success stories, you're like, this is one worth sharing. Who else comes to mind for you?
I think Tommy always comes to mind when you, we've obviously met him personally. Tommy, shout out to TNT, was 25 stone when I met him. I met him through a very good friend of mine, and I seen somebody who was in a very bad way. I wanted to help him the minute I seen him. That sounds weird, but I knew I would. I just knew I would work with Tommy. It sounds so strange looking back to it, and he's changed my life in so many ways, because when I first met him, I did not see a podcast. I did not see I did not see me losing him losing 10 stone with me, but I had a funny feeling I would work with him. Our mate was trying to influence that, but ultimately we met each other, and like I said, he was 25 stone. I like to say I've got this, I think it's a talent of seeing past the kind of the show. Tommy put on a very good show when you met him initially. Happy guy.
I could see through it.
I could, the mask, I could see through it. And that's not me saying like try to scrutinise him. It's just that we've all got our ways of dealing with things, and I'm a man who's in a position that he was in of essentially eating his way to an early grave. I knew I had to, he needed change. I was obviously the one that helped him influence that, and that job of helping him, he always thanks me for what I've done for his life, but I probably don't give him the recognition of saying, you've also changed my life, you've created a best friend for me, you've helped me in so many ways. Like me teaching him and just putting an arm around and saying you can do this, and I'm hard on him as well, but I want the best for him. My coaching can be quite, I press his buttons, and I know because of how much I've got this fear of Tommy. I never want him to go back to where he was. I don't want him going anywhere near it. I see him so much potential in all my clients, especially Tommy, because he now has that friendship thing, but like I do with all my clients, that it's a great success story, but he knows me, knowing that I'm not satisfied with where he is right now. I'm satisfied. That's not fair. I just want to see him kick on because I've got such high hopes for him. So he
stands out, yeah.
Definitely stands out. I've got other clients like Andy, all friends. It's like people that are now friends, they kind of get that wee bit more about you, but you can say, I helped him. It's daft things like, I mean, I get Andy ready for his photo shoot the other week, and he was like, I walked into Tesco, and the security guard was telling me how good I looked. I was like, do you know what? We don't do it for approval, but it's nice to know that people can walk out, and that's why I always kind of get, this is why you should train. You feel great about yourself, and there's good people out there that recognise it, and it might be the reason why that security guard might go and start training, or might get, do you know what? I need to do X, Y, and Z. I could look like that. So without even just walking past somebody can have a positive impact. Telling somebody, do you know what? You can do this as well.
Yeah. We all have levels of influence, and
100%.
I'd imagine like your mum getting into it might even have a knock-on effect on her friends, her generation, the family side of things. For us, sometimes there's a disconnect because we're the advocates of fitness. It's like, obviously you go to the gym, but I can't be that person. And as you start to change someone's life, the self-belief in themselves, but also their circle of friends and their family and the people that they impact. I always remember, I can't remember what movie it was, but it was displaying the art of reputation and the art of, what was it? It was like customer experience. And it was like, if you do a really good job helping one person, they have two best friends. That experience gets delivered to those two best friends. Those two best friends then have a reputation of what you've done, even though you're not spoke to them, but then they have those circles. And it kind of like, it starts like small with one happy face, one happy impression that you give. Give it to two customers, I think those two become 4, 6, 8. And you have this like wide base of people of who you can influence. And that's what it's like through health and fitness.
I believe in energy and who you're around and environment more than anything. If you create an environment or you're the catalyst for that, you can influence generations. That was always my thing as well. Like, whether that's just for how you carry yourself as a person and a man, when you hear somebody's surname or he's taken seriously, he's a good person, he tries his best in life, he works hard, they things were always huge for me. So like you said, whether it's fat loss, muscle gain, transformations, mental transformations, you should be aiming to have some sort of positive impact in people. And like you said, look, in regards to Tommy, I told him this as well, if most people are, 1 in 3 people are obese nowadays in Scotland. If you come from a family where one parent is obese, there's a 30 to 40% chance that your child will be. If the two of them are, there's a 72 to 80% chance that your child will grow up obese.
It's environment, isn't it?
That's environment. It's also
Perception. It's everything.
Tommy is now going to be the guy that breaks that wheel if he keeps doing what he's doing. And we've all got our wheels to break, whether that's things you went through in households or whatever childhood traumas. We've all got our issues we need to work through, but that only comes with positive actions. And I think we get in this rut now, whether it's with fitness or in life, that we can't be the one. But I have always, and I said this to somebody I was talking to the other day, like, I will break all my generation curses. I will be the man that does it. I'll make sure that it'll be tough.
How exciting is that?
It's amazing.
Have you seen that? I know this is a bit of a sidestep, but the meme that's like, how I walk into the gym knowing I'm the strongest out of my whole ancestors, and it's like you've got this, your dad's dad's like, I'm the strongest out of my bloodline. Like that, and that, like, is, although that's a joke, but it's a part to genuinely consider.
I believe is what you have and what fitness has gave me is a mental capacity to take on tasks and do well with them. I have that, like I said, that is in my head most days. What I don't deal with in or out of the gym will then be passed on to the ones that I love through generations, i.e. my kids and their kids. So you'll go through the fire right now and you'll learn that. That's always been pivotal to me. I do not want the upbringing in areas that I had. That's just not going to happen for me. So like I said, it all kind of relates back to how you conduct yourself, how professional you are, how that you don't carry yourself around women. Like I said, nobody's immune to making mistakes, whatever it may be, but I do, my overarching reach is that I want to be a good father. I want to be a good role model. None of them can happen if I come away from all the things that we spoke about today.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say some of the mistakes that you've kind of encountered through your life comes to mind?
Coaching.
Just in general, even like life lessons.
A huge lesson for me, and it probably kind of goes into coaching, is sometimes we speak with the intention to be right. That's a common thing in our job.
And our relationships.
Aye, relationships especially. Listen, we're in happy relationships. It means we will never be right.
Exactly. You need to lighten up a bit sometimes.
Aye. So I think sometimes we speak with the intention of always being right. When somebody tells you something, you think you've got the answers. Sometimes that person doesn't need your answers. You'll find that if you're coaching people. Some people just need you there. That's a mistake I've probably made in the past, where somebody comes to me, I know what can help them.
Doesn't mean it's what's for them though.
Doesn't mean that shouting at them and doing this, and that some people need to go what they need to go through to never go through that thing ever again. I've done it myself. That's a huge lesson for me. Just be there, chill, let the person talk about whatever it is, and I think naturally if you know when the time's right. Whereas I never want to be the coach, I never want to be the friend, I never want to be the man that's I told you so, like that pointing the finger as if I've never made a mistake and I've never done wrong. That is the worst trait I feel in a friend, a coach, a man.
What does it do? Like what? Like generally, what purpose does it serve then? I'm right.
It takes you away from going, oh wait a minute, you've never made a mistake, you're not immune. So there were probably lessons that spring to mind. We've all got loads. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things. From a coaching point of view, it's always taught me to go, why have you not checked in, or screaming at somebody can be different to how's today been first.
Yeah.
Terrible. Manty's just died. Something's just happened. Now that conversation's different. I mean, rather than going, you've not sent your check-in or blah, blah, blah.
Like, it's like too caught up in the process.
You've obviously got to get people that it's just trying to regulate things well.
But
again, that just comes from experience with coaching, which I know we'll talk about in the
we'll do an actual deep dive on the coaching side of things. What I guess one other thing for you then was there anything that stand out in terms of insecurities that you've had or still have and are working on?
I think when you start out, everybody's insecure. The goal should always be, for me personally, is get past them. And I was insecure in my body. That was it. insecure with how I looked, and the goal was to be comfortable in your own skin. That is subjective to each individual. You might be happy in your skin, I'm happy in mine. We both come together, we can have good conversations and talk about it. It's how that person feels inside. I always wanted to get over that, and I always wanted to pass that on to clients, because I feel, especially with social media nowadays, everything's the circus to, well, that person looks a certain way, that he must have it all figured out, she must have it all figured out, and you probably find with people that it's so far from the truth, because they've not done that part of actually giving themselves some sort of gratification and praise that they've done it. It's as I say, it's something we can talk about in later stages, but that was, I wouldn't say I've got much insecurities now. Just I kind of feel I know myself. I know what needs sorted. I know what needs done. I know where I'm going, and that doesn't mean you've got it all worked out, but it means that you know that will come in time. Whether that's the same way when you had 0 clients, you knew in time you would build it up to something good.
Having the faith and discipline and work ethic to everything else sort of follows, doesn't it? One thing I want to bring into this episode, that I've done a wee quick fire round of questions, that very similar to what you used to, but I guess more fitness related. I think a burning question everybody would have, so we'll get deep for a second. Is your hair real?
It is real.
And how did you get it looking the way it looks?
Yeah, I put a transformation up that week.
Your hair, I did see that.
Ross for 2 years ago, I just grew my hair.
You grew it out. So there's also many different hairstyles. Can you see yourself ever changing up hairstyle anytime soon?
Well, I seen that last one and seen it short, and I was like, nah, never.
Can never go back. You ever shaved your beard? I shaved everything, clean shaven?
No.
So I done it.
I did.
Just over a year ago, and I was like, I am not having
I look
facial.
young. I think Molly's told me, she's like if you cut your head off, I'll leave you. So if I go bald, I'm single.
See, I'll tell a story. So in lockdown, everybody's shaving their heads. So I got my mate to shave my head. Jill, I kid you not, no word of a lie, went in a mood with me about shaving my head. And I was like, it's going to grow back. Chill out. It's just a head of hair. But I wonder what if you'd ever rock the mullet and that sort of stuff. It kind of is. It's like a slick back type of thing.
There you go. We'll go for a wee pint one night. You can give us
different hairstyles. So quick fire round then. So we'll do I quite like the idea of myth busting fitness takes, because you're someone like myself in the industry. Some of these might seem, well, we actually might disagree in some of these. It'd be very interesting to see, but I've written down a list of quick fire. Is it a truth? Is it fact or fiction, I guess, if you want to call it that? So I'll run through these. I'll kick off with the first one. Cardio, is it the main component to burning fat?
No.
Breakfast being the most important of the day, most important meal of the day?
Person dependent, no.
You can spot reduced belly fat?
Not true.
Abs are made in the kitchen?
True.
Did you go on to true that? You have to work out every day to see results?
Not true.
You have to lift heavy to gain muscle?
Subjective what heavy is, but yes, you need to be...
Good. Protein shakes being essential for, I said muscle growth here, but fitness transformations.
I'm supposed to be pit stop, of course it is.
We need supplements. Get your supplements, code TNT10. Fasted cardio burns more fat than regular cardio?
No.
Crunchies are the key to six packs?
No.
Do detox teas have any place in fitness?
In the bin.
Manjaro, thoughts?
Yes or no?
Well, I guess Manjaro being let's change this to Manjaro being a good tool for weight loss transformation. Do you
Depends.
More positive impact or negative impact, do you believe?
For the majority, it will have a more negative impact, I believe.
Think so. Interesting. Being over the age of 40, you can't build muscle.
Not true.
Eating late night makes you fat.
Not true.
High rocks is just CrossFit without running.
Not true.
Bodybuilding is all about aesthetics and not strength.
Not true.
And then last one here is bodybuilding diets require cutting carbs completely.
Not true.
Cool. So they were just quick fire fitness ones. The next one I actually have, which is interesting, I want you to rank, if you had to only choose, so there's different styles popping up just now, okay?
Yep.
In the past, bodybuilding was the thing that we were all attracted to. Like, we were, in the sense of, like, that's what got us all into fitness. It was about our physiques. CrossFit was on the scene, I believe, but where fitness is at now, there's so many different avenues, so many different pockets, and you're actually exposed to a lot of this in JPs because you have bodybuilders, you have strongmen, you have powerlifters, you have high roxers, and then another category here would be like the ultra endurance stuff, and much more. I want you to rank these and things that you would do for the rest of your life from start to finish. So we call this like the battle of the fitness modalities. So we got bodybuilding, we got CrossFit, we got strongman, we got high rocks, we got ultra running, and then we got the park runs, which are full marathons, half marathons, 5Ks and 10Ks I've put under the same category, and then powerlifting. Which one of them would you do for the rest of your life if you had to choose?
Does the bodybuilding have to be competing? Or just
style? I guess a style of training.
Bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding number one. What comes in at number two for you?
Park runs.
Do you fancy do you still run?
Yeah.
I remember you were doing a bit of running. Any interest to go into that anymore?
I've done a marathon.
Aye, you done one yet?
I've done a half marathon. It was a trail run.
Oh, trail running is different gravy, isn't it?
A marathon.
Number, what would be your top three, your third spot?
I've not really gave CrossFit enough time for me personally, but I respect it the most out of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's incredible athletes do CrossFit.
So CrossFit number three?
Strongman.
Strongman over powerlifting, eh? What one would you choose before? You can't say they're the same. That's like saying high rocks and CrossFit's the same.
I watched Derek.
Yeah.
He's a strongman.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most impressive person in JP's gym.
Aye.
In my opinion, for his style of training, it's just incredible. He does lifts that people don't know exist anymore. So
the old school ones, isn't it? It's like
just
very
preference.
unconventional. Strongman then?
Strongman. Then powerlifting. Then high rocks.
Ultra running last?
Ultra running last, because I know what it would do to my body.
It's just ruined.
But I think, again, every one of them are all very, very impressive.
They've all got the end. I'm curious. I was just curious to, like, where does your mind go in terms of switching up and changing it? You've not done a high rocks yet, haven't you not?
Yeah, I've done a high rocks.
Oh, you? What about fitness racing as a general thing? Because the hybrid games are coming up. There was one this past weekend that a gym ran. Very cool event, like, to be a part of. I was like, this is quite cool. Any plans to, like, do any of them? Or
I think I would.
Aye?
Like me and Molly spoke about doing some event and stuff with a couple of things. I think they're great. I think they're really good. High rocks, as I said, it's bridged that gap to get a lot more people to involved in fitness and competitive side of fitness, which is important because we all need to feel being competitive is a very important thing.
Oh, absolutely. And we all like the idea of being the best of the best, and then you realise
just be better than yourself. So that challenge of going, I've got a time to beat here, or a set of skills or exercise to get through, teaches you to be better.
It reminded me, so you'd done a bodybuilding show.
Yes, I've done.
Kind of skipped over that part. 2, 3.
4.
Oh, have you done that many?
3.
Yeah. Any plans to do any more of them?
Not just now, no.
Was it what you expected it to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoyable. Learned a lot about yourself.
Like what?
I think the more you do, perseverance.
How good chocolate tastes when you've not got it.
Nothing ever come. If you really love food, go and do a bodybuilding show, because when you come out of a bodybuilding show and you've done it properly, the way food tastes, probably sex is a bit
up there with comparison.
No, and that's it.
I'll never forget how fruit tasted, because I remember in the show that I done this, it was so restrictive, and I wouldn't have like the traditional like sweets and chocolate and cakes and that sort of stuff. And I remember eating like, I think it was an apple or grapes or something. I was like, man, this tastes amazing. And then see when I reintroduced like the quote unquote shite foods, I was like, how did I eat that all the time? And then my tolerance came back to normal, and I'd scan like a tub of Nutella as if it was nothing. But
horrible place to be in that.
Definitely can it can also create the eating restriction side of things, but it can also reset your outlook on it all.
Yep.
For sure.
No, I'd say I had quite a good relationship with my competing. If I was to do it again, I would go silent and I wouldn't tell anyone.
Why?
I think I competed for the love of competing and the love of challenging yourself. Just don't feel... Me personally as well, it's all subjective. I'm quite big on... When I was competing, everyone's talking about me. I'm not somebody that likes to talk about myself a lot.
Right.
Just, I'm more interested in your life. I'm more interested in learning and speaking to people and somebody coming up to you all the time going, oh, how's your prep going? And I know it comes from a good place the majority of the time, but I think if I was to do it again, I'd just try not to tell anyone.
Did you feel like there was a way that it was everything? It was everything about your life?
It becomes
a lot of
personality.
sacrifice,
And I think that's... A lot of people hold on to that after it, and it's, again, a reason they attach themselves to it, which is great. But everything I spoke about today relates back to, I want to use fitness, I want to use my training, everyone I coach, to benefit every area of life.
Yeah.
Relationships, business, how you feel about yourself. These things all relate back to that training. The days that you don't want to train, all the wee kind of intricate details within it. I didn't want to be known as just a guy that bodybuilded. It just didn't give me... It didn't give me that satisfaction. I want, again...
in a way, that was the transformation play back in the day, wasn't it?
Aye.
Do a show, get a bunch of leads that come off the back of the show, and because you've done it for yourself, ultimately, you've walked the walk, and you can talk the talk, which I'm sure there's a part of that in the PT conversation that we definitely can dive more into, which we'll do in one of the next episodes. Right, in a way to kind of wrap this up, I used to do like a strength test, like a grip test with everyone.
And I've been looking at that for the full podcast.
Thinking, why the fuck is that on the table? So you're going to be the first of this, and now in Top Gear, there's like a board.
Yep.
And the fastest lap, there's a ranking for it. I'm going to get a board put up, and we're going to get all the guests that come in. The best score is going to sit there, and then you can see how you compare, how your grip strength compares. But before we do that, I think this is a good way. Have you ever seen those blind rankings on like TikTok or Instagram?
No.
It's like, so you don't know what the next one's going to be, but you have to rank the likelihood that you would use this item or have this item out of 10. So 1 being, yes, that definitely would be in my, or definitely be something that I use. 10, no, I would never have that. So what I thought, I was trying to think beforehand, I was like, what's a good one to do? So for us as PTs and gym goers, we always have our gym bag. So this one's going to be blind reacting to what things you would have in your gym bag, but you're not going to know what the next one is. So the first one's going to be resistance bands. What's the likelihood that you would have that in your gym bag? This is preference to you.
Very little.
So out of 10, where's that going to sit? 1 through 10.
2.
2 would mean you're likely to have it, right? So
9.
Right, so it's just hitting that 9, knowing that there could be some random things that come up here.
That's fine.
Right, cool. A can of Monster.
10. Monsters for immature little kids.
I like that. Coffee's where it's at.
Coffee's where it's at.
What do you refer to them? What's it called? A cortado? Cortado. Right, I need to get some Spanish.
I hope vapes isn't on this list.
Because you're fucked. I should put vapes in for that reason.
Vape should be a 10. Fitness coaching should not be vaping.
Or smoking.
I think smoking's more attractive than vaping.
I suppose it's got, you're a big guy on like Spanish culture, aren't you?
I enjoy a cigar, but only like if I'm sitting relaxing and holiday, whatever it is, but I don't think you should be chuffing 2 or 3 vapes a day and be in the fitness industry.
It's mental. Why though? Like, what's the difference between that and smoking?
You shouldn't be doing any of them.
Aye, that's my point. Aye,
but you're also sucking a battery.
Bizarre, isn't it? Right. Absolutely bizarre. Right, so we got, what was I saying there? So we said resistance bands is 8.
Yeah.
10 was a can of Monster. Lifting straps.
1.
That's guaranteed going to be in your backpack. Change of boxers.
9.
Squares bar.
10.
Can't use 10. 10's, the 10 spot's been used, so you see what I mean now?
Oh.
So you have to put it at 7 or put it at 5.
I'm playing safe here and I'll go 4, but I've been 8 Rice Krispie bar.
I should have actually write these down, like, so we know where it's at. Lifting gloves.
wee pair of bitch mitts.
wee pair of bitch mitts.
Hey, there's 7.
They're
In case
up
a client wants to use them.
Next one we have is a banana.
3.
Towel, sweat towel, I guess if you want to call it
4.
that. Your own. Oh, what's the word for this? I thought I'd written it down. I've left it blank. Your own cable attachment.
6.
Lifting belt. Wait, I think this is our last one. So we got set number 2, please. No, number 1, lifting straps. Resistance bands, you said 8.
Yeah. Monster was 10.
Monster was 10. Towel was... Sweat towel was a 5. Squares bar was a safe 4,
Yep.
6. I should have actually, because some of them popped in my head. And
You're
I was like,
going to
"How's it
get a
going?"
better system for this. It's a disaster.
it's all over the place.
We'll do this again on the follow-up.
I'll cut it so it's a wee bit more. So I think you get 2 spots left, which is number 2 and number 4.
What am I left with?
So whatever one you want to rank here is going to be chalk.
4.
4. So your second place is dildo.
I'd have been 1 if you said it first.
I'll put that in there. I need to get a better system. I wrote them all down, then I've hit something in my keyboard and it's wiped them all. And I was like pure panicking.
Do you mean everybody? Do folk not have dildos in their gym bag? Is that?
I know. It's like
mine is always there.
It's like crunchies, man. Like remember those things? You know what I'm talking about? There was that. What was that thing called? See, you talk about fitness markets.
You know, you get what's the built for athletes bags?
Yeah.
I think every one of them should come with a portable dildo,
They just
like stuck to the side there, to know that if I've
Wanker.
bought one of these bags, I'm a big dildo.
So you built for athletes bags, isn't it? Something that
No,
you would ever
personality
have?
trait.
Is it?
Aye, I think if people buy them, you feel accepted.
Well, that's one sponsor that's not going to be
I
sponsoring
know.
the TNT podcast.
No, they look very convenient. I don't know what I don't know what you would need to put in it. You probably would need to put a dildo in it to fill it up.
You put it all in.
But
That can be the next follow up. It's like 10 items I would have in my built for athletes bag.
no,
That's
I
quite
don't
good
mind
to
the
know
bags. It's when you put coach on it and put a
Coach
sticker on it.
The Hyrox patches. I've
And
got
like,
all mine up there.
I said this
You see
before.
them?
Is like, does that mean that guys that aren't coaches are putting like painter and decorator on theirs?
Now here, that would be funny. So if you have any friends in different industries, like you could buy that and buy their own brand.
Just write Bricky on the back end.
Joiner. Well, look, this has been a great podcast.
You need to put vapist on it as well.
Vapist.
If you vape.
So I've learned a lot about you in today's episode. So for our next one, I'll definitely try and play to some of those strengths that you brought up. Definitely do some controversial takes for sure on it. So what we'll do is to wrap up the podcast episode. Have you done one of these before?
I think at college.
Did you not? So see, when we talk about personal training, like also to gauge,
This was
like assessments wise,
Yep.
like these are. I got this from Stan Efferton, and I remember listening to his podcast, and he spoke about this. And he says, one thing I can test of my strength athletes, if I need to modify anything, is by doing a grip strength test every time. And I was like, that's actually a really good thing to do. But what I ended up doing because I was like, I don't have strength clients. I want to help the everyday people bought into health and fitness. So I would get them to do this at the start of before just like a before picture. And I'd do a couple other measurements. And then at the end I'd do that. And I've seen some people's grip strength double just because if they have a better, it's not that I've got them maybe twice as strong, but the ability to have stronger grip strength in your later years is such a vital
If you think
part.
of what three muscles muscles and lungs are important is the heart, the lungs, the quads.
Mm-hmm.
The quads for quality of life when you get into your later years.
Yep.
Again, I would think that would be high up on the list as well, just because
Yeah,
grip strength, picking up things. Another thing, I remember doing all the elderly client course, and they spoke about when a person loses certain mobilities, shoulder extension, whatever it may be, you will noticeably see in their house that they stop putting stuff up in the shelves.
Yeah, just because you can't reach it.
Everything stays on
Yeah.
those lower shelves are on the unit, stuff like that. moving, like you said, providing quality of life back is
Yeah.
important. The tests always provided that, and they taught you that at college, which was good.
Definitely, like the data on grip strength is one that's fascinating because they're drawing that as direct parallels to you living longer. If this number is higher, then I think it's like I've tested on some clients who've barely got double numbers, like into like 10 kilo of force that they can generate through their hands. Compare that to a chart, it becomes very detrimental to their health, and it's like, right, okay, don't be alarmed, but it is lower.
Yep.
Let's give us 4 weeks, let's retest it, and in the space of 4 weeks, the resistance training and what that does, because you're a bit there. So what are you thinking you're getting?
I don't know. Are you doing it as well?
Nah, I'll leave that. I'll do it at the end, and I'll see where I rank.
yeah.
I'll say wait till there's a leaderboard, there's something to beat. So you're at a disadvantage because you don't know where you're going to go. Do you think I should do this more than one attempt?
You tell me. Do we get a?
Do we do the average of 3s, or take the best reading?
We'll take the best reading for 3 then.
Right. So are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Ah, okay. I wonder if I should have a left-handed leaderboard. What do you think? It's just funny how you believe in God and left-handed people are meant to be known as the child of the devil and all that.
Fooled you all.
Right, when you're ready, squeeze it as hard as you can.
You hold that? Or?
Let's see, is it on 0? Yep, and then just squeeze it as hard as you can. Oh, Tony's broke it. If you're just listening, he's broke it. He's too strong. What's the number?
61.4.
Very good score. So 61.4.
Right, but right.
Now, this is when you find out your right hand's stronger.
The short chugger.
Stranger one.
Don't do that.
Right, and then let go.
55.7.
Right, so it's definitely left-handed.
It's a left-handed.
Right. Go with one more attempt then. 3, 2, 1.
61.1.
So 61.4. Best reading. We'll see where this
You better
compares then.
we get no big monsters on this podcast to
Well,
read
do you know what I used to do with guests? So we used to go out there and we put their body weight on a barbell, and then a deadlift, we'd hold it at the top, and then I would time how long they can hold their body weight for. So I was doing this with a lot of people. Very rare was people getting by a minute. And then I had Andy Scott on the podcast, and he was like, "How much do you weigh?" And he's like, "I'm about 120 kilos just now." So I put 120 kilo on the bar. Mate, I watched him evolve as a person. He went from like the muscle mass that he had on, he just started filling out more and more and more as time went on. I was like, fucking hell.
How long do you hold it for?
I think it was like a minute and 10 seconds or something like that. So I used to do that, and then a dead hang challenge, because it was like just something to do that. But then somebody that I had on fell. Well, they didn't fall, they slipped off their hand. They went to absolute max effort. And I was like, better not do this. So that one seemed like the most obvious one.
Safer, that.
So I've not actually released it yet, but that you are the first. 61.4. I bet you everyone's going to be, if they've got one of these, I'm going to see if I'm stronger than Tony. So if you want to know if you're stronger than Tony, 61.4 kilos is what you have to beat. They're doing it with the UFC fighters in their interviews and all that now. It's just quite good.
What's the average at them?
They're struggling to get over 50. Some are doing really well, but 70 is like an elite score.
I'm not going to take any praise for that. They'll kick your cunt in. So.
Aye, exactly. It's like strength isn't the problem there. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I will put everything in the show notes to where people can find you. You've also got your own podcast with Tommy Boy, which is TNT. What's your schedule for that then? Have you got regular posting?
Every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks on
our podcast.
Sunday, or is it Sunday or Monday?
Not every Sunday. It
Sunday.
comes out. A few guests lined up.
Brilliant.
You're on the list.
I'll look forward to it. But I'll put that in the show notes where people can find you. And also your Instagram is where your main social media channel is that right? In terms of coaching availability, if anyone is interested in reaching out, it's just, am I right in saying online availability?
Online only at the moment.
Cool.
1-to-1 diaries full.
And people can find that by messaging on Instagram.
Message me on Instagram or get me on my bio from my Instagram.
I'll put that as
main page.
I'll put that in the show notes as well. Well, look, absolute pleasure. Bring you on for a part 2, and we'll dive deeper into personal training tactics.
I'm looking forward to that one. As I said, I think we
have some fun with it.
Experience is huge, isn't it? So it'll be nice to teach guys that get into how much it's changed, because we've seen it evolve.
Yeah. And it's I think it's definitely on a shift of evolving just now.
Yep.
I think one-to-one PTing is going to outweigh online coaches dramatically, because the one thing that you were saying was connecting people up and delivering in a face-to-face element, whether it's a seminar, group coaching, one-to-one. If you're just doing Zoom calls with your clients, we're moving away from that drastically.
Do you think, I think we spoke about that in the podcast, like, we're all becoming, especially our generation, we're becoming a wee bit more savvy to what social media is and what it's doing. I think we're starting to go, oh no, we actually need to get out the house, we need to start communicating more. The ones that aren't picking up on it are, in my opinion, it's the ones that you are maybe getting a wee bit more alarmed to.
Yep.
You're seeing, or they're showing characteristics that aren't really good for your mental health.
See, for me, the one thing I've had to look back on is like taking money, like say I have unlimited money for the rest of my life, unlimited time, what's things that I'm going to do. Some of the best experiences I've had this year is something where I've been either away, been with people that I love, or I've been doing some sort of fitness thing. One of your probably things I would imagine would be having a workout with a client or a friend. Like they things I hold so highly in my list.
Yep.
And that can't be achieved through just the online method. Like if it's a blind, like a lot of online coaches are now pivoting to, look, I'm going to meet up with you every so often. Brilliant. Like that's the way you have to change.
Pretty cool. Create connection. I think even going back to just being online or just having a huge influence of social media, I was done that test before I came up here, that if you spend 3 hours a day on your phone for the next 10 years, it equivalents to something like, I wrote it down, 456 days
lose a
lost,
year of your life. Yeah.
a year and 3 months lost. And I'm not saying you don't spend time and do it productively, but too much of the wasting time over time it's lost value, especially the years that all we're talking about how important this time of your life is. You look back and you've lost it all for messing about on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah. That's why you listen to a podcast, TNT 100%. Podcast, Bulletproof Mindset
But you
podcast.
should be doing this when you're out on a walk, or you've been doing.
You've been on social media today at all?
I have.
Right. Tell me one of the videos that you remember.
I watched one of my videos. There you go.
Just in my own.
I try and really.
My fucking own content.
I'm trying my
that
best
good.
just now to just really keep it all.
No, I'm the same. I
business-related.
know I've scrolled on TikTok today, but I can maybe remember one or two of the funny videos. But here's one thing we can all do. Go onto TikTok if that's your platform, or Instagram. Click on watch history and look at how much content you've consumed in that short space of scrolling. I've got timers that pop up on each of my social media platforms every 15 minutes. It's set to that it goes, here, your time's up for today. You can snooze this and get back into the platform, but it just breaks that cycle. And I'm like, wow, that was a quick 15 minutes. Right, let me get back to what I need to do. So all these hacks are things that we'll bring up in the next episode for sure. And we'll see you guys then.
Look forward to it.